guys, so I am back, and normally I am about praising War Dragons. I love the game. We all know it's glitchy. Glitchy as all get up. From playing rounds and being dropped to not being able to join, chat not working, spells not working properly.
Ah, yes.
You know, and all the other things that cost us are hard-earned, like expendables, spells, potions, that kind of stuff. But we just can't take that as part of playing the game, right?
Well, the problem isn't even when you're asking for back or backing somebody on a run and they're using a 100 or plus 200% multiplier, and then the connection goes bad, and those things cost 4,000 rubies per pack of 50, and that can happen several times in a row. So basically, you're out the equivalent of 300 or 400 rubies. Things like that happen. Things like the debacle with the chests. I remember about a year ago when there simply were no team prizes for about 3 or 4 or 5 weeks even. Later on, the company compensated the players overall for that. Some people said we should be grateful. I don't understand if you're only getting what you're entitled to, but you're getting it far after the fact, plus a lot of the hassle. I don't see you're supposed to be grateful for what? Okay. For what's yours and should have been there. But even that's not exactly what we're talking about.
What we're talking about is something that's going on right now. It is a clear issue that Pocket Gems is aware of. That yesterday, gold chests were not giving out their content, and they were charging you the rubies for the chest. I personally opened a ton of chests yesterday.
3 sets of 10.
Well, more than that,
oh, yeah.
I opened a ton of chests yesterday. And I'm sure, for 100% positive, that 3 sets of 10 that I opened, I received zilch for. Nothing. And I was very excited about these chests because we opened them back to back, and they had tons of wood packs. They had speed ups, and they had sigils, and I was like, okay, I can finish doing what I wanted to do in this event. And then I go and try to use the speed ups to finish a perch, and they're not there. And then I go and I look at...
The pearls aren't there either for finishing the purchase. None of the items that were listed on the screen that she was supposed to receive for the sets of gold chests, and that's 12,000 rubies. 12,000, 3 sets of 10. None of the items were added to her inventory. No. And, yeah, we rebooted the game several times.
So then what I did was I rebooted the game, what they normally say to do, went back and wasn't there. So then I did a hard boot, which is you going in, turning off the game, going into your settings, turning off the game so it cancels the game out, and then going into Google Apps and opening the game from there. Again, nothing. So I figured, okay, maybe it's opening from the cache. So I restarted my phone, emptied the cache, and booted the game from Google Play again. Still, they weren't there. I went in and asked for help and explained everything I just did and the fact that I hadn't received the chest. And I received an auto response saying, hey, we're aware of this, restart the game, and your items will be there. Well, clearly I told them that I had done more than just restart the game. And they closed the ticket as being done. I opened another ticket. Same exact thing. And then finally I opened a third ticket. Again, they did the same thing. And I finally ended up opening a fourth ticket and telling them that if they didn't want to resolve this, I would go and talk about this issue in social media. So, yes.
We're not the first ones, by the way. There were many people who mentioned this problem in Facebook.
There are a lot of people that have mentioned it in chat, on our team, in the league chat. There are people that are mentioning it in the forums, on Facebook. So, Pocket James is completely and utterly aware of this problem. However, this isn't even the first time they've done this to me. Back in February, when they first were able to give out gifts, over Valentine's Day, I gave Somatron a beautiful Valentine's Day gift. And then I also bought myself a $100 pack. Pocket Gems sent both packs to Somatron. Okay, I texted them, letting them know that I didn't receive my pack. They admitted that they sent the pack to another player, Somatron, and that it was too bad for me that it doesn't matter that I didn't
wound up
get...
buying her a pack, so we wound up both getting the packs, but we had to spend an extra $100 for it. And if it had gone to another player, someone whom she didn't intend it to, and who wouldn't have reciprocated, then what?
Then what? It's like going to a restaurant, you buying dinner, paying for it, the waiter giving your food to the table next to you, and then saying, oh, sorry, no dinner for you.
And you still have to pay for the dinner that somebody else ate.
Yeah.
They didn't even order themselves, but I'm sure are glad to have. I see another player here on our team. I don't know if he wrote the company. He says, I opened 20 gold chests last night. You opened 30. I opened 20 gold chests last night from Sigil Rewards. I didn't get any of my lumber packs until I rebooted, but I used my lumber packs on a mage. Then got sync error. I rebooted and mage isn't under construction, and I have no lumber packs, so I've messaged PG. Now, he initially got his prizes, but later on when he applied them, there was the sync error. So, you either don't get your stuff outright in certain cases for very expensive sets of chests, or even if you do, when you apply the resources, it doesn't count towards the event. It doesn't count towards your points or upgrading the base. And you can use speed-ups, and this has happened to me. When I would apply speed-ups, the game would reboot, and then when I came back into the game, the tower was still under construction, but all the speed-ups I had used were used up. This happened with a 5-day tower when I was a, beginning level player. This happened later on with a 12-day tower when I was an intermediate player. And now that I'm well into the 200s level, this has been known to happen with 14 to 16-day towers. So, goddammit, you're using, over 2 weeks of speed-ups for a tower. That's supposed to get the check mark, and as soon as you're about to press it, the game reboots, and guess what? Lo and behold, the tower is back under construction, and you get none of the points, and you have to wait another 2 weeks or spend another 14 to 16 days of speed-ups to get it erected. Yeah?
Yeah. And the thing about this is, it wouldn't be so bad if they didn't just auto-respond to you, close your ticket, and be like, oh, well, you will leave us alone now. I'm done leaving them alone. The last pack I bought that we lost was $100. If you went and bought 12,000 rubies, that'd be $100. Or you could buy a $50 pack and get 12,000 rubies. But still,
it's $40 to $50 worth of rubies. I mean, people, come on, this is good money. You can actually get a decent meal, for that money in real life.
And so it's just like, it's the fact that they are doing nothing, and they clearly admit they have made mistakes and errors, yet just do nothing for you. It's treating
They're so afraid to give you something that, you're cheating them for? How about just getting what you paid for? No, so they'd rather not give you what you paid for, rather than assume to give you too much. I mean, these things, I'm sorry to interrupt, they cost nothing to them to produce. I mean, these are virtual tokens, sigils, rubies, packs. I mean, this is just electronically manufactured things. You're giving them actual real-life currency for getting these things. And yet, this is the hassle you got to deal with. And it's not a 1 or a 2 or 3 time thing. People just simply haven't been speaking about it that much. And I think it's high time we raised hell forward, because it's really not getting any better.
Okay, so they just responded to me again saying, sorry, Dragon Lords, I meant 3 sets. Oh, because they responded to me and said, oh, you got your 3 sets, your 3 gold chests. And I responded, no, it was 3 sets of 10. And I repeated this a number of times.
Mm-hmm.
That's 30 gold chests if you can't do the math, not 3. And they just responded back, sorry, Dragon Lords, I meant 3 sets of gold chests on my previous response. Based on our records, 3 sets of gold chests you opened, the rubies were successfully credited to your account. They weren't credited to my account. They were deducted from my account, morons. And your account was successfully credited. Here are the items that you were given. I did not receive any of the items that they're listing here. And they don't even... The second set of gold chests.
They have a printout on the screen of what was in those chests, but these things were not put into our inventory.
Given to me. And they clearly know what was in those chests and still won't give that stuff to me, but clearly are willing to take my money. That is a definition of stealing and fraud.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Now, if you didn't know what was going on, that's just being lax if you chronically don't know what's going on. But if you've been notified, it's been addressed. This is obviously a player who doesn't have a history of, undue complaints without cause.
And your response is, oh yeah, we know what's in those chests, but no, sorry, you're not getting it. After spending as much money as I do on this game, this is ridiculous. Because I spent a good bit of money on this game.
Well, you have to if you actually want to make, inroads.
And they make it so you do have to spend money on the game. And I love the game. But I'm not going to continue to spend money on this game if they continue to steal from me. And that's what I feel they're doing. Stealing. And that's wrong.
Guys, if you can relate to the stories we just told you, and there are many others, leave comments, share the video. We obviously didn't do this to go out of our way to create problems, but rather to address them, because the companies seem to be a little less than willing to do it. And also having to write them kilometric emails explaining things, to have auto responses. They don't get to your emails, or judging by the responses, they haven't even read them. I mean, you're taking the time and effort to write these emails. You're not getting paid to write them. They're getting paid to read them. That's their tech support staff. So, it's not like we're out to just make problems out of the blue. We've already posted, several dozen videos on YouTube, not about this, but it's about War Dragons and many other subjects. You can actually check out our channel if you like it, subscribe. But what I'm talking about is making a pleasant gaming experience unpleasant just for technical glitches and irresolute denial of addressing them or helping players that have been affected. If anything, companies should not only give players what they were shortchanged by, but actually give them additional items for the inconvenience. Because again, to pocket gems, it costs nothing to create this. This is just virtual stuff. If you put it into a program, you can make 1 billion rupees. It doesn't cost them anything, yet they're selling them, 27,000 rupees for $100. So something to think about. Anyway, your comments, post them please. We definitely appreciate the input. We don't block any comments, negative or positive.
No.
If you have constructive criticism, please, we'd like to hear it. If you have similar stories, please share it.
Maybe if the players unite and get together, Pocket Gems will realize that they can't keep treating their players like this and expect them to continue playing the game. The game is great, but it's the players that really make it what it is.
Yeah,
and without them and without us, they're nothing. It'll be another app game that goes down and bankrupt because they have treated their players wrong. Look at what's happening in Clash Royale.
Yeah, and that's another game where we're playing. And ultimately, if any of you, she quit. She didn't even rage quit. She just quit eventually. Periodically, I go in there, but that's another game that basically, if you get too hard hit, the situation is different. They don't have a problem with giving you.
They don't steal.
They don't steal, but what they do is they artificially knock you back by creating problems for your pawns. Well, it's not a chess game; it's a card. Active battle game.
But the point is, these phone app games believe that they can treat their customers any way they want because there is no real ramifications towards them. Like, I went to Google Play to try to get my money back the first time, and they basically said, Pocket Gems has a no refund policy, which is exactly what Pocket Gems told me, no refund policy.
But they didn't give you what you paid for. There's no refund policy. So give me what there's just no refund policy.
So the whole thing about this is they have to start treating their players right, or their players will leave because they're not being treated fairly. And that's all I ask for. Treat me fairly, and I will treat you the way you treat me. But now,
no, it's not even we just had to bring this up as a problem because it wasn't getting any better. It's getting worse. And like I said, we've had to write them emails, get hassled. It's a hassle for us to sit there on a little screen to write an email. And then you get nothing. I mean, several days, several emails, frustrations later, what you're simply told you're not going to get, or you supposedly have gotten what you're talking about, but we see she hasn't. Anyway, guys, so basically that's it. We needed to address this problem. Have a good one. This is not a pleasant topic, but it had to be addressed. So take care of yourself.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. I'll write an email to them now. Okay? Hey, I'm doing what I can too.